Hey y'all, it's Amanda, and today we're working in the front and side yards. It's that time of year where a lot of things are starting to fizzle out, and I'm starting to replace them with items that will transfer well into the fall. One of my big focuses today is pulling out all of my Supertunias that have all fizzled out and then replacing those with Lantana. But I'm actually going to start in this little area right by the front entry to my house. And I bought these Mandeville vines not too long ago. Actually, I should say Mandeville plants because these aren't vining. To go in this area, they have a deep red color, and I think that'll be really lovely for fall, especially when I'm able to tuck in some pumpkins. So this area gets full sun until the very end of the day, and then it gets a little bit of shade. I am adding a little bit of plant tone into each of these holes as I plant them. Sun Parasol Crimson Mandevilla produces large, velvety crimson red trumpet shaped flowers on glossy green foliage. This tropical plant grows about 24 inches wide and 24 inches tall and thrives in full sun to part shade. Hardy in zones 10 through 11, it blooms throughout the warm season and is excellent for trellises and large containers. Next, I'm going to shift over to this area that needs to be cleaned up a little bit. I have a little bit of Dusty Miller blooms that need to be cut back. My coleus that I planted here, my Black Dragon coleus that I planted for the fall, is trying to flower, and so I'm just cutting that back a little bit as well. And I am going to do a little bit of a cleanup with some of the Rudbeckia and coneflower that you see here. I'm pretty obsessed with this area, specifically that chimney Rudbeckia, which is the one that's planted directly into the garden. Right here, I'm cutting back a beautiful red coneflower. Its blooms have all aged now, but I'm just cutting back the stems as far down as they'll go, and then I'm hoping for a reflush for the fall. And then same thing for the chimney Rudbeckia that I grew from seed. I'm just going and cutting out the oldest blooms as far down as they'll go, and then I'm hoping that that will push a new flush of blooms for the fall. Now I had some issue with specifically the drip lines that are connected to my actual sprinkler system, and so that was off for several days, and so I had to hand water some areas. And in that time, these dianthus across the front struggled a little bit. They struggle in the hottest times of the year anyway. But I'm going to go through and just give them a little bit of a light haircut, removing all of the old buds so that they're not trying to focus on making seeds, that they can just really focus on surviving at this point. And I'm just using my little Ryobi trimmer. It's not really a heavy duty machine, but it's really great for a situation like this. Okay, moving on to the side garden. This is a west-facing side garden, and I have 6 petunias in this area, Supertunias, that I planted earlier this year, and they actually lasted a lot longer than they typically do. I have a lot of people who tell me they have no problem over being able to grow these in the winter, but this is what mine do. Y'all see that? Yeah. I mean, it's not a simple cut back and then it'll come back. Those things die, and it dies very quickly. I will say I really enjoyed them. They lasted longer into the summer than they typically do, so that was really nice. But now it's time to put some serious plants in here, some plants that can really handle the hot weather. So we're going to be adding 2 varieties of Lantana. This first one is called Dallas Red, and we're also going to be adding in yellow bandana Lantana. And I chose these colors specifically so that they will blend well with the fall. So reds and oranges and yellows. I love plums and dark purples and black tones, but these will be really pretty, and these will thrive beautifully all the way up into our first frost. Dallas Red Lantana produces clusters of vibrant red, orange, and yellow flowers that deepen in color as they mature. It grows about 3 to 4 feet tall and wide, thrives in full sun, and handles Texas heat drought beautifully. Hardy in zones 8 through 11, it blooms for months and attracts butterflies and other pollinators. Okay, moving further down the side garden, this is another clump of petunias right here that I'm pulling out. And it turns out that my Italian stone pine that's potted right here, I knew it was struggling, but as I'm pulling this out, I'm realizing that the drip irrigation that had run to this had become unplugged. And so, yeah, it was just getting absolutely no water. So it's a total loss, which is sad, but also okay, because I'm not going to lie, I was really considering replacing this anyway. I wasn't loving the shape and the way it looked. So I'm just going to haul that area out. And I'm pulling some weeds and things like that as well. I've really been thinking about this area that I don't like it very much. So it is a space that I need to work on. So while I'm doing all this, I'm kind of thinking about what my future plans might be for this space. Okay, for this space, I'm going to put in yellow bandana lantana. This is a really pretty buttery yellow tone, and I think it'll be lovely blending for fall. Since I pulled out that big pot, I am going to cluster a few of these here just so that I can fill in this space until I decide what to do with it next season. As I'm digging in this portion of the garden, it's like concrete, y'all. Watch me how much effort I'm having to put into digging in this. And usually this fork just kind of very easily goes into my soil, but this stuff feels hard. And that means the clay that is in my soil has gotten really dry, which means this area needs more water. So it does tell me that it's time to change up my watering schedule and make it a little more frequent and deeper, meaning longer. So that we get deeper water. And I actually usually change that watering schedule up at the end of May, but we've had so much rain this summer, I haven't had to do that. So this is actually kind of late in the game for me to do it, which is great. I mean, that saved me a lot of water earlier on. But definitely an issue, and I definitely don't want the soil getting too dried out because I have too many amazing plants in this area. Bandana yellow lantana produces bright golden yellow flowers clusters on compact, mounded plants. It grows about 12 to 26 inches tall and wide and thrives in full sun with excellent heat tolerance. Hardy in zones 9 through 11, it provides nonstop summer color and attracts butterflies and pollinators. Okay, continuing on, this is another Supertunia. This one is not as bad as the others, but it's still in pretty rough shape. So pulling that out and replacing that with additional lantana. And the goal is to do that all up and down this west side garden so there's big bursts of color throughout the fall. Now this Supertunia right here never did like super well. It was still really pretty entangled with the Nepeta to the right. I think that perhaps it got a little too much shade by all these other plants. But I'm going to go ahead and put a lantana here anyway, and I'd like to put the bright yellow because I think that'll contrast with this darker area. Okay, at this point, I realized I had definitely pushed myself too hard. I was feeling pretty tired and my legs were feeling a little wobbly. And so I did go inside and get Jeff to come out and clean up behind me so that I didn't have to do another 15 minutes of that. Now, I am watering everything in really, really well, and I will need to check on these on a daily basis to see if they need more water. Lantana do not do great with lots of fertilizer, so you might have noticed that I did not add additional fertilizer to these as I was planting them. So just something to remember. And at this point, I'm discussing with Jeff that there's definitely needs to be more water coming to this side of the house or this side of the garden because the ground is like concrete. And so I definitely want to make that change. I'm adjusting some of my taps right here just to make sure everything's lining up properly and everything looks really good. And then I am increasing how often I water. We're going to be watering every other day for 20 to 25 minutes, so a nice deep soak. And I think that'll be really great for this space. All the soil on this side of the house is like concrete. Yeah, so I'm going to change my watering schedule. But this is definitely later in the Okay, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. It's crazy to think that I'm beginning to prepare for fall as I change things out and start adjusting my color scheme a little bit, but that actually makes me really excited. We are heading into the most brutal 8 weeks of the year, mid-July through August through the middle of September. All right, you all, as always, she's a mad gardener or a decorator or anything else that she wants to be. Thanks, y'all.